I'll do my little intro here.
All right.
Where's the mic at? What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Welcome to Chillin' with Rick, the People Show. Without the people, I'd be nothing. Thank you all for watching, whether you've been with me for the past 5-6 years, however long it's been, or this is your first interview. This will be a great one to tune into. I'm at the beautiful Oneida Calet Civic Center in downtown Oneida. Thanks, Bill DiPaolo, for hooking this up. I appreciate it. And I'm sitting here with the band Ozzmosis.
Nice to meet you, Rick.
Nice to meet you
Nice
guys.
to meet you.
What's
Nice
going
to meet
on,
you, Rick.
fellas?
And all of you.
And you guys out there?
Yes. So what we're going to do is you're going to go through and introduce yourselves, where you're from, and what position in the band you got.
All right. My name is Jim. I am from Bethpage, New York, Long Island, and I play the drums.
I'm Ricky Woods. I'm Ozzy in the band, obviously.
He talks better than Ozzy, too.
And I'm from Long Island, New York.
Andre Picard. I play bass, and I'm from Stamford, Connecticut.
He's the commuter. I'm Mike. I play guitar. I'm also from Long Island. This is a good Saturday night for us. Typical Saturday night. We love it.
Yeah. All right, man. So what I like to do is I like to start off from the beginning. You're the drummer. What age did you learn to play drums?
Oh boy. I was in my first band. I was 9. 9 years old, playing in a band with the guys that were like 11 and 12. We played some Battle of the Bands at one of the town parks, and we won. They put us on like a little mini tour of Long Island and Coney Island. We got to play all these different parks. I was 9.
Yeah.
So you get the bug early.
I got
Yeah.
the bug early,
Yeah,
man. It was
that's good.
See, when I interview the local guys, when they pick up like a guitar for the first time, it's always 12. That seems to be the magic number.
That's what happened.
Right, that's how my guitar player was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I had one guy,
I
he's
was
like,
13.
and then one guy, he's like, I was like 22. I was like, 22? That's like, you're a grandfather when you pick it up. Huh?
Wow. That's true.
What age did you learn how to sing, brother?
Well, I started singing
Yeah.
with the chorus when I was about 8 years old.
Yeah.
And then by middle school, I had solos with the chorus backing me, and I became a trained singer when I got a little older.
Yeah.
And I've been doing it ever since.
Awesome.
Were you
singing rock and
12,
roll.
buddy?
No, when I
just
got my
wondering.
first
Oh,
band
like
together, oh boy, maybe middle school, I don't know,
band together,
maybe 11, 12 years old, 13,
it.
somewhere around there.
That's it.
Yeah.
See, I had a dream I was doing this at I was 44, I think, 43. And I just woke up and set up the camera and just got a hold of
Nice.
musicians and did it.
Cool, man.
So I'm living my dream.
That's good. That's important.
Well, thanks for having us anyway.
Andre picked up the bass 3 weeks ago.
Andre, I'm jealous of the hair, brother.
Dr. Trey.
So what age did you start?
I very young, probably 10, 11.
Yeah.
I mean, we always had, in my house, we had a bass guitar,
Yeah.
a drum set, a guitar,
Yep.
and me and my brothers would just jam and switch instruments and play it at a very young age.
Yeah.
I started taking lessons when I was like 12. That didn't last long because they just taught crap, you know. So then, I just met, from playing with kids in school and stuff, and here I am. Met these guys. They called me up a couple years ago now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2019, I think.
Yeah, I got a call out of the blue for an audition, so I said, I'll have to try it out, and it was great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I actually became a bass player from seeing Ozzy in concert.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in '81, I went to,
How about that?
got some concert tickets, some people I knew that said, hey, you want to go? I had 4th row seats. I sat right in front of Rudy Sarzo.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, holy shit, this dude is friggin' great.
That's a big deal. That's a real big deal.
Yeah, he was great. And at the same time, some local guys were looking for a bass player.
Yeah.
Then I was playing guitar, and I said, yeah, I'll do it, you know, because I like what he's doing.
Yeah.
And I haven't touched the guitar really ever
Is
since.
that why you punch your bass like a lot when you play?
That's just from watching all the
Yeah,
concerts
Rudy
and stuff. That's from
Sarzo,
watching
man.
Rudy
Well,
in
we
the
all know-
evening. Yeah,
you know,
it's great.
The rumor is we're an Ozzy tribute, so he might want to emulate somebody.
Yeah, it'd be good.
Rudy at least, right?
What about you, brother?
I was 12 when I wanted to start playing guitar, so I
There's
got my
12.
first guitar
At
at
34.
13. So technically, was I 12 or 13? Anyway, it's been a while now, and it was like hanging out with my dad in his work van. He'd have on like the rock stations, and certain songs, like music didn't interest me, but I'd hear Iron Man or Dirty Deeds and shit like that. Smoke on the Water. I had to fucking play it, so I hope we can curse, otherwise I gotta go.
You wouldn't be a rock band if
We'll
you
edit it
didn't.
out. There's a lot of bleeping.
But-
No, we're not editing shit out.
But yeah, so that I started, I got into the Ozzy thing. I started playing a lot of Ozzy when I was younger, and
Yeah.
Randy Rhoads were the first guitar solos that I could ever actually do, which is weird, but it is what it is. I mean, so I knew one day I would be in an Ozzy tribute, and the same thing. I got a call in 2010, and I said, "This is it. This is definitely going to happen." And I'm glad I did, because it's a lot of fun. We're great people. We have a good time, and
Get to play great music.
really good stuff, and we love it.
That's the
so.
key. We love doing
We
it.
love doing this.
It's not
Because
work.
we've all talked to that's what we say. It's like, if I was to be in a cover band, doing a lot of other bands, I would have to then do bands I didn't really want to sing.
Yeah.
I like lots of different kinds of music, and that's very true. But for me to be able to sell it to the crowd, to put on the best show I can do, I have to love what I'm singing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've been loving these songs the majority of my life.
Yeah.
So it's not work, like Jimmy said. It's not work. It's getting up there and having fun and being the conduit and to share the music that we all love with the crowd.
Ask me tomorrow morning if it was work. I can barely move.
But then ask me if next weekend you want to do
Jimmy
it again.
laying in
Yes,
bed
we
with
do.
an IV drip.
See, what I got told from the guys that I usually interview, it's you get paid to set up and tear down. The middle part's easy.
That's
I'm
100%, man.
I'm
That's
sure
all
that
good.
rings true.
We got up at 5 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
going to
it's
play in
true.
about
I work
2
overnight.
hours.
So, like a lot of musicians say, the hour and a half on stage is great. It's the other 22 and a half hours that suck.
Yeah.
When you're on the road.
I
do
mean,
have
there's
a
a
great
lot.
crew.
There's a lot to set
We
up.
have a great crew that
There's
works
a
with
lot of
us.
stuff to do.
Yeah, crew's
We're gonna
over
be
there.
heading-
They're out of the
We're
camera
doing
scene, but-
a mini tour of Virginia in January, and three nights in a row. So our
Three
road-
different venues,
three different
three
venues:
different
Virginia
towns.
Beach and Virginia Common, and then the road crew, which we thank infinitely. Our road crew is
Without
great.
them, we couldn't do it.
Because they're the ones who rip it up and
Can
put
you
it
imagine
together
if you
every
guys
day.
had to set all this up? Holy Christ.
Can you imagine I had to do anything? That would be horrible.
If I didn't do anything.
At least he's honest. At least
I appreciate you just because you can talk better than I.
Listen, I set up my microphone and I check it and it works, and then I fuck off to the dressing room until sound check.
As your sound check, yeah.
Yeah.
We're good boys. We're
And
good.
then the other 9 guys take care of the rest of the work.
That's right. Oh yeah. So why Ozzy? Can you sing Ozzy better than any other? Have you tried any other? or-
I don't speak for myself.
Interesting
People that have
question.
heard me might want to say that I'm very very good at what I do.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
I can do a lot of different kinds of vocals. I'm a trained singer, like I said. So I did my own original music for many years. I was not doing any cover music at all, and I certainly wasn't being in a tribute band. Then I got into doing a Sabbath tribute band about in the late 2007, 2008. I was doing just Black Sabbath, Ozzy. Some friends of mine put a band together and said, "Do you want to sing?" And I said, "Okay, if the band's together, I'll show up." And they're like, "Okay." So they put it together, and then I went and did some gigs on Long Island. Then I was in another Sabbath tribute out of New Jersey for many years, and we did basically the majority of the catalog of the first 8 albums of Ozzy and Black Sabbath. And then in about 4.5 years ago, I met these guys, and then we started doing Ozzy material, which I had been doing for a short time in an Ozzy and Randy tribute band out of Staten Island, New York. So I got familiar with that material. Then I had to get familiar with the Zakk Wylde material, which I never sung before.
Yeah.
But I'm very happy to say, and I'm very proud of this, if you have a song of Ozzy has sang on from 1970 to 1992, and you give me a lyric sheet, I can sing the song for you.
Yeah.
Because I know the melodies of every song he's ever done,
Yeah.
up to No More Tears.
Bark at the Moon.
Yeah, we're playing
my
that.
favorite
We're
one.
playing it tonight. You'll hear it
We're
tonight.
opening with that. No,
So feel free to video the song. We're
I'm
opening the
gonna-
show with it tonight.
I'm gonna be right up here, so if you
Yeah.
guys see me, what's
Yes.
up, Rick?
Oh, good. You're staying. I was wondering about
Spit
that.
blood on you, you're saying?
I'm only 2 blocks away. Why wouldn't I stay?
Let me tell you something. So when we play, we get to band practice. It's after work. We're tired.
Yeah.
Once we start playing, it all gels. We got
Yeah.
a groove going.
The adrenaline
and
kicks
then
in.
this fucking guy starts singing, and there's nothing else we should be doing. It sounds like we're listening to a CD in our head. It's crazy.
Thank you, Mike.
So it really is just the icing. It's like, wow.
When he came for his
So-
audition, we all looked at each other like, all right, let's give him a shot, see what he sounded like. The minute he opened his mouth, me and him immediately went like this.
Yeah. Yeah. We were like,
I can't wait for the
boy.
jaw drop moment.
Oh yeah, you will not believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
amazing.
Years
Good
ago
stuff.
when I was doing my Sabbath band, I didn't look like Ozzy. We were a tribute band in the music. We didn't kind of emulate the way the band looked. So I just went up as Ricky Woods on stage.
Yeah.
And then I'd see people in the front rows, you know, in audiences, and they're kind of just looking at me. Then they go into about 3 or 4 words into the song, they turn to each other, holy shit, you hear that guy? You know, they give me that look, and I always waited for those, because I look like a roadie on stage, you know? I don't look like anybody special.
Yeah.
Not a
Funny
big- not a big
story. I saw Ricky when I first got in the band in 2010.
That's right.
We had another singer who, you know, he's a good guy. We love him. He's a great person. He did a pretty good job. I saw this guy at a club.
At the Crazy
He
Donkey
sounded
on Long Island.
amazing, but I'm like, man, he looks nothing like Ozzy. I just didn't even bring it up to anybody. 8 years later, he's in the band, and I said I should have just mentioned it back then.
Well, like I said, you know, if you offer me enough money, I'll put anything you want.
Yeah. He did say that, actually.
That was an all-star jam. It was some buddies of mine, Mark Edwards, the drummer. You know, everybody knows Mark
Yeah,
from Long
Mark.
Island. And my buddy Russell Pizzuto, who plays with Dee Snider. He's Dee Snider's bass player.
Oh, that's awesome.
And this other guy, Chad, who played guitar. I didn't know Chad too well. He was in a band called Troop 47.
He
like
did
a
awesome
tribute
that
band.
night, too, man.
Yeah,
I was very impressed.
He loves Zakk Wylde, had the Zakk Wylde signature guitar like Mike's got. And, you know, so we just got up. We rehearsed twice, threw together 8 songs, and went up on stage in a big club in Long Island called the Crazy Donkey. And Mike was playing in another band called the Jerk Fellas.
I love
and
That's
these
a
names.
favor to a friend.
And
That
they
was-
had
yeah.
Henry Hill from
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas, the real guy,
okay.
the gangster,
Yeah.
came to introduce the band.
Wow.
And I'm in the bathroom, and he's standing next to me in the next stall. Swear to God.
Wow.
And I said, and it was the weirdest thing. Like
Did you
2
pee?
days. 2 days. No,
What?
no, we didn't cross streams or anything, Mike. If that's what you're asking. No.
They didn't play swords either.
No sword fighting. No, but it was interesting because like 2 days before that, and I didn't even know he was going to be there. It's just 2 days. I was just watching on the History Channel. He was on there. I said, Henry, you know, I just saw you on TV like 2 days ago, and of course I've seen Goodfellas.
I can imagine how he
He was really
introduced the
nice.
band.
He was
You're
really
gonna like this band. No, you're gonna like
You're
this
gonna
band.
like this band.
If you say it, man, it's rare. I ain't trying to pick a fight with
Right.
you. I'm good, brother.
So they went on before we did, and I didn't know Mike from Adam at that time. And they played Mr. Crowley that night
Okay.
before we played Mr. Crowley.
Yeah.
And I was listening to the band. I was like, you know, the guitar player is really good, but we're going to really make that song look much better when we play it with my guys.
Isn't that always the goal?
Well, that always
Yeah.
is. So because we didn't know
You didn't know
anybody.
any of us, man. None of us.
Didn't know
I'm
anybody.
asking people, who's this fucking guy? And
Didn't
they're
know
going, I
anybody.
don't know. It's just some guy.
And
Didn't
I've
know
been
anybody.
on Long Island all my life, and I've never seen him.
That's because you did all the
before he
shows
came.
in
I did all
Jersey.
my shows in Jersey, in Pennsylvania, in Delaware.
Yeah.
We
It's
toured.
like a traitor. He
We
doesn't
toured.
really,
We toured. You know, mostly out of New York.
Okay.
You know.
Now, this band has toured mostly out of New York, or you guys are?
We don't play a lot. We
You know-
play upstate. We don't play in Long Island.
Okay.
We play
Once-
Long Island.
I mean, in 2
like
weeks we are,
twice, 3
but-
times a year usually.
We're playing there on the 17th
You're
of
playing,
November.
you're playing at a place called the Space in Westbury.
theater.
It's a theater on Long
It's our
Island.
one show on Long Island in about 2 years.
Yeah, since
Wow.
since COVID happened. Yeah, after COVID, and then we're gonna go to Virginia, doing the Calet tonight.
Yeah.
Just came from Worcester, Massachusetts last weekend. We did a thing called Airfest in
Webster, Mass.
In Webster, Mass. with
So you're
about
weekend
3,000
warriors, pretty
people.
much, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
we would like to be more.
Yeah.
You know, I think when it comes to, you know, we're all professional musicians. We're
Yeah.
not the guys that, you know, are moving the pool table at the bar down the
Oh,
block.
that's true. Yeah, yeah.
You know, so I mean,
we wouldn't fit.
Jimmy's drum set wouldn't fit in there. That's the 5th member of the band, if you haven't been noticed.
We call it. What's his name? The drum set. We have
do
to
we
name
ever
him.
name it?
We have to name it.
Animal.
Big Larry.
Animal. We'll call it
Big
Animal.
Larry. So you know, we're you know, if you want to book us like we were supposed to before when COVID hit, we was talking in talks to go to Northern Europe
Oh,
to
wow.
play shows.
Wow.
We did a conference in New York City, which was a conference where talent buyers come in and check out bands.
Yeah.
And we met a guy from like Scandinavia, and he loved the band. And we filmed TV commercials over here in the States, and they were running them on TV there. And then COVID hit 3 months later. It's
Yeah,
Yeah,
January
everything we
20.
had in line just kind of died.
Everything
and we started
kind of went
over,
down
you
the
know.
crapper.
It's
Yeah.
kinda-
That was my second full year doing my show. It was easy getting all these local guys because they had nothing to do.
Right.
But also your heart goes out for them because they lost their livelihood.
Yeah.
That was tough.
We lost a lot.
So-
A lot of
venues
momentum.
Closed. A lot of venues closed.
Yeah, a lot of venues
I
closed.
played
right?
2 shows with you guys.
Yeah,
And then
and,
COVID
and then the
hit.
world had closed down, so we didn't play another show until July of that year. We did one show in Sharky's actually up here.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, that was our first show back after COVID, about 6 months later.
Hopefully
summer
nothing
of-
like that ever happens again.
God bless.
Yeah,
you
right.
know, I
Damn.
hope not. You know,
At least
for
for 100
everybody,
years.
for everybody's livelihood.
Yeah,
all the
yeah, yeah, it could be
restaurants and
once
the
every
bars
100
that got
years,
closed
exactly.
down, lost their livelihood.
Yeah.
I mean, what about the guy that took out a $500,000 loan to open a bar in late 2019, and 6 months later he's out of business?
Yeah, exactly.
Because he can't pay his bills,
Yep.
he can't make any money, and he has a giant nut over his head. And he's got to declare bankruptcy.
Yeah.
You know, so many people's lives got taken out by that. So I mean, we were very sympathetic towards everybody's plight, not just other musicians.
Then every musician I had on's playing the guessing game and when they can get back, and they're just hoping and praying. It was like a couple of weeks later, obviously it wasn't.
No.
You know, so
No,
it
it
was
was
just,
not.
it was horrible.
And
It's
it took a
horrible time.
while for the people to want to congregate together again in the same
Right.
room.
Yep.
And then
know,
yeah, the gigs were starting to come in, and people were like,
People-
do
6 foot
people-
distancing.
We're not
you know,
ready yet.
Yeah.
You'll see
Yeah.
comments like, "I'm not going. They're risking my life to see a band," and I'm like, So yeah, it was tough. It was tough for a while.
It's everybody's personal choice.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, if you don't want to come out yet, we'll be there when you're ready to come out.
Yeah.
You know, it's the most important thing is that people are confident that they can come to a venue and be safe, and their health is very important to them as well.
Yep.
So whatever concerns you, take care of yourself.
That's right.
And rock and roll is here to stay, man.
That's it.
You know, we're not going anywhere.
Just like you said, we'll be here when you're ready.
We'll be here when
That's
you're ready.
right.
You guys ain't going nowhere, are you?
No.
I'm so glad to hear that. So, what's your favorite Ozzy album? Do you have a favorite Ozzy album?
I'd probably have to say, Bark at the Moon. One of my
Love that
favorites.
song, you know that.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, for me, I'd have to divide it up
It's
into
gonna
Black
take a
Sabbath and
while.
Ozzy.
We got a minute.
So I can answer this actually pretty easily. My favorite Black Sabbath album with Ozzy on it is Sabotage.
Okay.
That's my favorite album. Or Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. They always kind of.
Those are my two
those
favorites,
are my two
if it
favorites
matters. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they're great also.
Everyone's-
And probably, and I would say probably Diary of a Madman is my favorite Ozzy record.
There you go.
You know, even though it was rushed through the studio, the songs are still great.
If it was any different, it would not be as good.
Yeah.
Diary's my favorite.
Yeah,
That's all I have to
Diary
No More
say.
and
Tears was
Blizzard.
good too.
Diary.
No More
Blizzard.
Tears was a great record.
Yeah, I like that one too.
Great record. They're all great. All for me, the first 6 albums. You know, the 2 with Randy, the 2 with Jake, and the 2 with Zach. Those are the albums I love from Ozzy's solo career.
Yeah.
After that, I think the quality drops off a bit here and there. I don't think they were as strong. He brought a lot of outside songwriters in to write songs with the guys. It wasn't really a band like it used to be when Bob Daisley or Geezer was writing the lyrics for him back in the day in Sabbath, and
Geezer.
then you had 3 hotshot guitar players, especially Randy, who had cut his chops at Quiet Riot, and then got the gig with Ozzy and created magic. I mean, changed my life. First time I heard those songs, it absolutely changed my life.
Ozzy Osbourne, Lee Kerslake, Bob Daisley, and Randy Rhoads, the best songwriters that I'm aware of.
That record,
You agree with that?
I
that
totally agree
record
with
is
that.
just something
Absolutely.
else, man.
Absolutely.
I mean, through high school, I listened to Ozzy's voice at least once for 4 straight years.
Yeah.
That's why I say I know these songs like the back of my hand, because they're drilled into me
Yeah.
over and over again. Just loving the music, loving Sabbath, and of course Ozzy's solo career, and the Sabbath with Dio also, and even Tony Martin.
Dio
I'm a big
was,
fan.
I was a good friend of Ronnie's, and
Yeah.
through Ronnie I got to meet Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, all these people,
Yep.
because Ronnie was just that type of guy. If he liked you, you were family.
And when Jimmy was working for Black Sabbath on the tour, he threw me off the meet and greet line. And that's before I knew him. So before Jimmy knows
He
me,
said, "This guy
I'm
looks
at
like
the-
trouble."
I'm at the Mohegan Sun Arena, and Heaven and Hell Black Sabbath is playing. And if you bought the CD at the record shop they had there, the CD shop, they gave you a ticket for a meet and greet.
Yeah.
So it's basically a cattle call thing. They got them on like a dais with a long rectangular table. You
remember
just
the
put the
line.
CD cover up, everybody signs it 4 times, and you're whisked off. So I said to my buddy Chris, I was like, I've met a lot of famous people over the years.
Yeah.
If you can engage them in a question that they find interesting,
Yeah.
they will remember you and they will talk back to you.
That's right.
So I did it with Ronnie, and knowing how great Ronnie is with his fans. So I piqued Ronnie's interest, and I said, on the album Dehumanizer, I said, in the song I, what was your backstory behind that? Was it like the wizard from like from the early days of Rainbow and stuff like that? And he starts talking to me, he's telling me the whole story, and then somebody's giving these security guys the eye to get this guy off the line because there's 400 people behind him. So he comes over and he's like, okay, you've had enough. And Ronnie's like, wait a second, I'm still talking to this guy. So I'm like, yay, me. So then Jimmy and his thugs back off. And then I get to talk to Ronnie for about another 2 or 3 minutes. I shook his hand, and then I met him again at Jones Beach Theater on Long Island about 7 months later. And I walked into the
He remembered
backstage
your name.
area, and he remembered me. He remembered
That's
what we
awesome.
talked
Ronnie
about.
had a memory like
He
that.
remembered what we talked about. He goes to Vinny. He's like, I know this guy, and he told me the stories I told him. I was like, how can you remember any of this?
Yeah.
You meet thousands of people every month. How could you remember the conversation we had? And that's what I mean. I engaged him in a conversation, and I said something that he remembered. And my hero, who was on my wall my whole life as a kid, remembered who I was, and my heart was just like the Grinch when he found Christmas, like 5 times bigger than it was before.
That's pretty cool. That's a good story. I like
That's
that.
a real good story.
Yeah.
The real
That's
story
what
is-
I look for.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
met
And I'm
my
glad
wife.
you
And
don't
it's truthful.
interview. You'd put me out of business.
Well, I've done a lot of these over the years.
I'm
wife
just
and I
hoping you
used-
remember
used
who
to
I
work.
am.
Yes, Rick. I remember that.
You
It's
remember
an easy
Sal.
one. That's an easy one.
Yeah,
right?
because
That's
my
how I
name
remember
my
your
name
name.
is also Rick.
Yeah,
So
I know.
otherwise,
I got you covered, brother.
otherwise you'd be out of luck. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Not
He's
really.
not kidding.
Not really.
See, I just said I'm a nervous wreck. Actually, this is my biggest interview because
Oh,
you
well.
guys are you guys.
I appreciate that.
So,
man.
and I've been promoting you because I see
Yeah,
that
yes.
you like it, and
Yep,
you know,
yep.
I'm
We
putting
like
you
your
guys
show, man.
all over.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Chilling with Rick.
That's right. That's what you're doing, man. I mean, everything is just.
Andre's
prohibited
favorite album is
conversation.
the 1910 Fruit Gum Company's solo debut album, I believe.
And
Or the
Oompa
Ar-
Loompa
or the-
Loompa-dee-doo.
or the Archies.
Or the
Singing
Archies.
Sugar,
Oh, yeah, the Archies.
singing
There
Sugar,
ain't nothing wrong
Sugar.
with that.
Ah, sugar. Yeah. I love all that bubblegum
I
stuff.
can't
That's why I
tell-
joke, because
I-
I actually do listen to that stuff.
I can't tell you how many guys sat there with me and said, "Kiss changed my life."
My first concert, Kiss.
Yeah.
One of my favorite
It's Jimmy.
bands growing up was
Yeah.
Kiss.
Jimmy,
Yeah.
I
I
still
was
go
never
see
a
them.
huge Kiss guy. I did like Kiss, you know, when I was in about 5th grade.
Yep.
My friend got the Dynasty record, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. Then somebody else played the Beatles Blue Album for me, and I was like, wow, this is so much better than Kiss.
Yeah.
But wait, hold on.
And then it was the Beatles.
He's got a
So
rebuttal.
I got to say something about this. So since I was into Kiss all through high school and used to get in fights over Kiss, people used to say, "Oh, Kiss sucked," and I used to get in fights over it. Of
course.
Anyway, was one of the reasons why I'm into all the technical
yes.
stuff that we do on
The
stage.
pyro and
Is
the,
all the pyro and stuff is
that's
all
all
based because I was
'cause you love
deep
Kiss,
in heart. I
watching
always
Kiss
felt
blow up
that
stuff.
the show is 50-50 music, 50-50 show. You have to put on a show.
Yeah.
That's what Gene always said from
So,
Kiss.
yeah. Gene Simmons from the Kiss band.
he's like, I always loved listening to the LA bands and the surf bands, but they just stood up on the stage and did nothing.
Yeah.
That's what Gene, it was one of Gene's quotes.
Yeah.
And he's like, the music was incredible, but there was nothing going on to keep your interest. So when I got a chance to do it, I was going to make it big. I was going to make songs that were memorable and catchy, and then give you something on top of that.
Yeah.
You know, to make the cake a 7-story layer cake. You know, instead of just the music to give you the big show with it. And they did. Kiss
Do you
is
think
fine.
they're finally done on December
Yeah, I
2nd?
do.
I think
do.
so.
Yeah. Well, Paul's
I
saw
watch
some
a lot
lessons.
of Gene interviews,
Yeah.
and he said the boots are killing him because he's 70 now.
Well, they're all old. You
I
know?
mean, I saw them last time around
Yeah.
Long Island.
in Long
yeah.
Island, and the show is still great. They
Yeah.
still play well. It's just it's tough at their age to keep doing it, man. It's
Paul's been having voice problems.
Yeah.
To sing like he sang,
it's not easy to sing like
it's not easy to sing like him, especially his mid.
Billy May is the best Paul Stanley
You know,
I've ever heard.
You know, a lot of people, they don't think about these years of Kiss because they think of all the makeup years. But his singing in the '80s was the most high-range technical singing he ever did. Was on like Hot in the Shade and like Crazy Nights. I know that maybe people don't like the glammy Kiss, but if you listen to just his vocal performances in those albums, he sounds incredible,
Yeah.
man. And he set the bar so high for himself, even in the middle of his career.
Yeah.
So I mean, I give him all the kudos, and I give Kiss every bit of all the praise they've gotten over the years. They helped to change rock and roll.
He's a phenomenal frontman too. He
yeah.
just- he's
That-
great
listen,
with
the
the
guy,
crowd.
the whole show is just it's an experience, I didn't see Kiss recently, but I saw him, about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I saw him for a couple of shows, and they were amazing. They've always been great and a great show. I saw them when Ace and Peter came back to the band.
I saw them originally when Peter and Ace were in the band,
Yeah.
and I remember
Well, I was like
Nassau
3,
Coliseum. We saw them, and Peter's drum riser was going up like
Oh, yeah.
25 feet,
And the hydraulics went out.
the one side.
The hydraulics failed.
You were there?
No, I saw him at Madison Square Garden.
I saw them. The
76.
riser went up, and
I
all of
was
a
born in
sudden,
'76.
Andre was born in
Oh, yeah, me too.
1876.
Me too. I was in the
it was
mood.
So the hydraulics, Jimmy was saying, the hydraulics on one set of the drum set started to fail, and it looked like he was going to tip over.
yeah, they had to
Oh,
bring it down.
Yeah, they had to bring it
It
back
wasn't
down
working
because
right.
the equipment was failing.
Yeah, rise it up, see what happens.
Yeah, that's like Tommy Lee, just flip him around with a harness around him.
Yeah.
See what happens.
We have the roller coaster platform.
Yeah. We have a gong that can fall 8 feet.
Yeah.
So Ace Frehley is coming to Rome.
I heard
know,
that.
I
We
know.
were just
Don't
talking
hook
to
that
Bill. Yes.
Ace Frehley played
Ace is
Mohegan
so
Sun
cool.
like right after we played it.
I've been backstage
I think he's
at
playing
Ace's
Long
shows
Island
in the
soon.
past.
He is
have,
playing at
Ricky.
Paramount.
Yeah. I've been backstage at Ace is a very, very nice guy. He's very
is.
nice to the fans. I was sitting talking to the drummer from King's X in the other dressing room.
Yeah.
And we were just talking music.
Yeah,
And he's
I
a
met
really
him through
great.
Ronnie too.
Yeah,
played
he's another great music. I'm a big music fan.
Me too.
I love all kinds of music, and I'm a rock and roll historian, so I love talking about rock and roll.
Yeah.
So, and he's just like that, you know. So we were just talking about all this old, you know, stuff that most people don't even know exists in the annals of rock history, you know. So
My mom, when I was a kid, now I get back. My mom brought me home Thriller.
oh, okay.
She was a big Jackson 5 fan.
You know, who wasn't? back
I
in the day?
loved
Making
Michael
me feel-
Jackson. I
making
still
me
do.
feel-
Yeah,
And I
he's
probably shouldn't say
incredible.
that.
No, that's fine. Listen,
Banging
Michael
bitches.
Jackson was another trend-setting world changer. I mean, come on, the guy changed the world.
I can walk across this floor if you need me to.
I can too, very slowly, front ways, but I can do it.
It's rock and roll, bro.
I guess so.
So tell me how much Thriller has impacted your life.
They've heard it on the speaker. You'll hear it later when,
I'm
when you
gonna
watch
listen
this back.
like,
You might have to edit
these
something
two
out.
Are, these two are busting balls over here, so.
Yeah. Well, we are rock and rollers.
That's right. I love it.
If it was after the show and we had 9 beers in us, it might be even more fun.
Oh,
Hopefully you
that's a
guys are
good
having a
interview
good time, 'cause
then.
I'm
Oh,
having a blast.
Rick, this is great, man. And I love, like I said when I talk to you, I love meeting new people
Yeah.
that want to talk about rock and roll.
And we love all our fans.
Yes.
We love our fans.
We love you guys, and we want to see you at every show.
Yeah.
Tell your friends if you know who we are already.
Yes.
Come check us out.
And we
You
love
know?
our road crew, except Jamie.
Yes, definitely except Jamie.
Yeah, Jamie's sitting there saying, "Wow, this guy's a real dick." Except Ricky, who's always cool to me. Everyone else is a dick, and I agree with him on that. It's
He'll
true.
give you a raise.
Yeah, no.
He's
You know what? I'll tell him he's doing a good job, and that's the most on
this right here goes a long way,
That's
Ricky.
right. A pat on the back and no extra money. Yes, you deserve all of that.
Well, guys, thank you for chatting with me. I
Oh,
know
thank
you got
Rick.
shit to do, so.
Yeah, Rick.
Yeah.
Pleasure meeting you.
Rick.
Nice
Can't wait
meet
to see
guys.
you during the show.
Nice
Can't wait
meet
to
you.
play for you in a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Feel free to film a little
I
bit
will
if
be
you
right
want.
up
be
here as
fun.
close as I can
Yep.
get.
Feel free to film a little bit.
They'll
You can-
throw me out of here if I get too close.
That's fine. You know, you can put it on the page. We always encourage people to film the shows and to show people what we do.
Please share this interview.
Yeah,
That
of
would mean
course.
the world
Yes,
to
we
me.
will. Of course we will.
Get my name out there a little
Yep.
bit more. That's
Sure.
what I'm trying to do because I'm chasing my dream doing this.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Rock
Got
and
it,
roll,
Rick.
buddy.
This
Thank
means
you
a
so
lot
much.
to me, guys. Thank you.
My pleasure.
you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ozzmosis, there they are.
Take care, guys. See you soon.